Tzu Ch's disaster assessment team arrives in Lisbon of Portugal to assess forest fire damage. We learn about the ways to care for newborn babies' umbilical cord stumps from the doctors. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. In the aftermath of the forest fire in Portugal, Tzu Ch volunteers from the United States, United Kingdom, and France formed a disaster assessment team and gathered in Lisbon to discuss with the related units the possibility of conducting damage assessments.
On December 5th, volunteers from the United States, the United Kingdom, and France gathered in the capital of Portugal, Lisbon, to visit the Taipei Economic and Cultural Center.
When you drive to the central part of this country, you may see the forest all the way. You can see many burn marks on it.
The most important thing is that we need the help of the embassy because we're unfamiliar with this area. Only by relying on you can we make the first step contact.
Besides the embassy, volunteers have also contacted local disaster relief units, hoping to help the fire survivors rebuild their homes as soon as possible.
In Mexico, Jojula is the city where Tzu Ch will hold the largest aid distribution among the 6 distributions. It is estimated that around 7,000 people will get the much-needed help. Therefore, Tzu Ch volunteers are making final arrangements for the distribution. With the arrival of the medical team in Jojula, our volunteers are making final arrangements for our distribution and medical outreach here.
Jojula is the city where we'll have our largest distribution among our 6 distributions in Mexico. Around 7,000 people will come on the day of the distribution. I truly admire the Mexican people. They still have a smile on their faces and dignity, even though they've suffered because of this disaster. I hope they can return to their normal life very soon, because we're one family. I'll teach the one family song to everyone, everywhere in Mexico. If I can't do it today, I'll come back and do it.
Meanwhile, in Mexico City, volunteers from Taiwan, Canada, and around the world arrived to prepare for distributions in a few days. As Tzu Ch volunteers work hard to prepare for the upcoming aid distributions and free clinics, more volunteers have joined them. As Tzu Ch volunteers prepare to hold aid distributions and free clinics to help quake victims in Mexico, more volunteers have joined disaster relief team.
Assessment team for the medical service outreach, they are here. We try to set up something for their request, what they're going to need, like some electricity, like a power, and then how many volunteers, both locally and from Tzu Ch volunteer, especially they need the bilingual. Once they know there will be a medical service here, so assuming out of the 3,700 local residents, 1/3 of them probably need some kind of medical service, so we talk about 1,000. On top of these 1,000 people, they might have another 500.
As the volunteers look for a suitable distribution venue, they've discovered another place where the displaced residents gather.
Master always told us you give them the most needed with love and compassionate. The distribution of the victims gonna be huge, so we want to make sure everything going smooth. Since we knew it, this is the place most needed. We hope we can activate our team in USA to come here more in the futures.
We went through a lot of difficulty and challenge. I think one through the others, we overcome it. So yes, I've been here altogether now 3 weeks. Phase 1 is complete. I feel good, at least the most difficult time to get us that far. That phase 1, thanks Buddha, thanks God, is done. Now it's a phase 2.
In Jordan, Tzu volunteers have delivered a box gift sent by Tzu Ch in California to a school for Syrian children. The children are extremely delighted to receive these school supplies and daily necessities.
Our age, Nazam Talapon. I sending across the ocean, يعني هذا من أمريكا صح؟ هذا ولد صغير أكتب إنسان هذا وديع من بحر.
Tzu Ch in California of the United States have initiated the activity of sending box gifts to children in Syria who are thousands of miles away from them. They've sent school supplies and daily supplies. Tzu volunteers in Jordan have delivered them to a school for Syrian children in Mafraq. Since the children who grew up amidst warfare have not seen some of the items, the volunteers explain its use to her.
I'm grateful to Tzu Chi's assistance for us to pursue education. I'm also grateful for the box gift. This is great help for us. I hope that in the future I can also pay back to society.
Surrounded by love, the children whose pursuit of education was once interrupted can now dream of a better future.
I asked her what she wants to do when she grows up. She said she wants to become a doctor because doctors can help a lot of people.
Having been through the atrocities of war, the children's wish is all the more precious. Patients suffering from spinal cerebral atrophy in mid to late periods of their life may suffer from mobility problems. However, family caretakers may be elderly and face tremendous burdens. Therefore, some families have to rely on care homes. However, the Long-Term Care Act 2.0 mainly focuses on elderly patients, but those with the illness may be young and middle age. This has led one organization, TSCAA, to create a group home.
It was 13 years ago that his daughter was running in the field. Her father couldn't believe that his lively daughter would soon be paralyzed by spinal cerebellar atrophy.
There's no difference between day and night. You have to sleep next to her in case there's a situation and you have to take care of her.
The slight nod shows the daughter's agreement that she cannot stop the tears of gratitude she expresses for her father.
When I get depressed or feel uncomfortable, we will go out and take a look around.
Going out helps this daughter feel that she is not trapped by this disease.
I take the towel, toilet paper, water, clothes, and diapers. This is my hat, and the umbrella is for my daughter.
A leaf hat, an umbrella, a wheelchair, and a father and daughter who did not succumb to illness.
In fact, we accumulate these dreams and happiness.
According to data, 61% of patients with spinal cerebellar atrophy are personally taken care of by their relatives. Another 25% are looked after by foreign caregivers, with only 14% admitted to care homes. 25 years after Miss Lee's illness, her condition deteriorated and her family could no longer care for her health. She had to be looked after in a group home.
I didn't want my care to put too much pressure on my father.
activities that we plan take into account their interests inside, as we devise a group plan for them.
Ms. Lee has to get close to the paper to write these characters as her vision is failing. Despite this challenge, she still doesn't give up her favorite activity, which is writing.
有灵感就会写。这边机构的社工就会帮他用转打成电子档。
Social workers help her type her writings into an electronic file and send it to our association for our quarterly publication. We give her a writing fee, which makes her happy. She shares this money with some of the residents here.
Ms. Lee is very lucky as she has been placed in a suitable care home, but many who suffer from sinocerebellar atrophy get passed around between long-term care homes.
There are many care homes who only accept elderly people, and those with the disease are marginalized. Generally, such care does not meet our expectations because patients who have this disease at a young age have normal brain functions. It is only their movements and actions which have been slowed.
With the implementation of the Long-Term Care Act 2.0, the main target groups for aid include elderly patients over the age of 65 and those with physical and mental disabilities age 55 and above. What does this mean for young people suffering from spinocerebellar atrophy?
Because our long-term care system pays more attention to the elderly, but basically forgets young people with disabilities.
The government has yet to implement a care program for young disabled people. As a result, the TSCAA is promoting a new type of care plan.
转个5下，1、2、3。
This foreign caregiver, Tinny, has been in Taiwan for more than 2 years. Tinny was originally Miss Tan's caregiver, though now she is in this group home where she works with 3 other families with disabilities, as she has much more free time now.
有什么需要帮忙吗？
需要喝水。
好。
能不能给我们水？
好，我帮你拿水。好。
先有需要再跟你讲。
好 ，OK。
Ms. Xie experienced onset of the disease at the age of 15, and her mother has been at her side for 26 years. Entering this assistive care center is a big help to her.
协力家庭比较好啊，像这样有一个环境啊，一个。
This assistive home is much better as it provides a good environment with many rooms together, as we can accompany each other and help care for everyone.
1、2、3、4、5，好，我们换手。
觉得大家在一起比较。
I think everyone living together is better as there is more warmth and support, and this gives us the power to go on.
If they go to a nursing home, they may be limited by the environment. But if they go to this assistive home environment, they can still stay with their families and interact with other patients.
At the moment, these assistive homes are still under a trial phase and are limited in number and location. For patients suffering from spinocerebellar atrophy have long been neglected, as many are searching for a more friendly care system. In our next episode, we will continue to explore the mystery of this debilitating disease.
The umbilical cord connects a mother and her fetus while in the womb. After the baby is born, the umbilical cord is cut, leaving an umbilical cord stump attached to the baby's belly button. The stump usually falls off in 7 to 10 days after the baby is born. If a baby's umbilical cord stump does not fall off in more than 2 weeks after the baby is born, the parents need to watch out for possible infection.
动一下，现在是你的运动时间。哦，你要起来。
The cute baby Shen is less than 2 months old. His mother was quite worried since his umbilical cord stump did not fall off until later time.
There was yellow secretion on his diaper. Sometimes it looked pink, sometimes it was brown. It stank.
Umbilical cord connects a mother and her fetus while in the womb. It supplies the fetus with oxygenated, nutrient-rich blood from the placenta. After the baby is born, normally in 2 weeks, the umbilical cord stump dries and falls off. For baby Shen, it did not fall off until 34 days after he was born.
When it fell off, I thought that was great. I did not imagine that there was another piece of flesh underneath. I was shocked.
The length of the remains of every baby's umbilical cord vary.
The cleaning process and the humidity can affect the time it falls off. In addition, if there was infection, umbilical granuloma could grow from the area.
The
secretion is very much like a petri dish where bacteria could easily grow. In such cases, we use silver nitrate to burn the area so that the granuloma could dry and fall off. Caring for the baby's umbilical cord stump, one has to clean the stump with cotton swabs dipped in rubbing alcohol.
Stretch the belly button open and disinfect the umbilical stump base. Draw a circle from the base.
Usually one has to use both 75% and 95% rubbing alcohol to disinfect the area. In addition, the nurse reminds people that baby boys' umbilical cord stumps could easily get wet from the baby's urine.
Do not cover the umbilical cord with the diaper. Since the baby boy's urine could remain on the diaper, it could create a humid environment for the umbilical cord stump.
Many parents also worry about umbilical hernia. Umbilical hernia occur when the baby's stomach muscles do not join completely, and the intestine and other tissues bulge through this weak point. As the baby grows up, most conditions will improve. If the parents still worry about it, they can try this.
Get
some sterile gauze to wrap a clean coin, then stick the wrapped coin to the belly button and push it back. This way, the stomach muscles have a better chance of joining. Parents
need to change the gauze every day and to follow up medical checks. If the condition still does not improve, the parents might need to consider surgeries for the baby.
In Taiwan, in one single-parent family in Pingdong, the son played with fire and caused a fire incident. No one was injured, but the house was severely burned. Around 20 Tzu Ch volunteers came and spent 3 hours cleaning up their home for them.
It is not easy for two people to carry a burnt bridge through several doors out the house. The interior of this house has been burnt black. The volunteers remove all the furniture and also bags of ashes out the house. After cleaning up the living room, the volunteers explained to Ms. Xu what sort of repair will be carried out.
Some days later, we'll knock down all these so the cement worker can start working. Do you understand?
Ms. Xu is a single mother. Her son was playing with a fire alone and caused the fire incident. No one was injured, but the fire burned down everything they had.
Ms. Shi is a low-income family, so we immediately gave her the emergency cash to help her buy some daily goods.
When the fire broke out, Ms. Shi did not know what to do. Fortunately, Tzu Ch volunteers and a burrowhead came helping her and also cleaning up her home.
I really appreciate their help, otherwise I wouldn't know what to do.
Over 20 volunteers cleaned up the house in 3 hours. The neighbors are amazed by the efficiency.
It was something hard to deal with, but the result is amazing because the volunteers took care of it completely.
Covered in dust, filth, and sweat, the volunteers are all smiling. They want to give support and encouragement to Ms. Xu.
In our next report, we'll meet the lecturer of Taichung Extended Learning Center, Lin Yiyu. He's an experienced plumber and electrician. After he discovered that balloons can entertain ill children, he started to learn the technique of balloon twisting. Now he goes to hospitals to comfort patients with the balloons, and he even shares his expertise with others.
I've been working on this machine for more than 30 years since I was young. It's easy. I simply need to create a screw thread.
No one can imagine that this man, who is the owner of the plumbing store, is actually a balloon artist.
Although it's quite different from my job, it's my interest. When I was still learning how to twist balloons, my mother always nagged me and said I shouldn't put my work aside playing with balloons all the time. For most people, they think balloons are nothing since they are something cheap. However, for me, I feel very happy to serve others with balloons.
Lin may go to hospitals to comfort the patients with his technique of balloon twisting, which he has learned for at least 20 years. He'd also share this expertise with those who are willing to learn. With his guidance, Ms. Chen, who is visually impaired, obtained the street artist certificate.
I feel very grateful to him because he never gives up on me. He told me that I should live a happy life and he will support me working on balloon art. I feel very moved about this.
Lin gives a course in balloon arts at the Taichung Jinshi Hall. Many Tzu Ch volunteers have attended his class to learn this expertise.
When we conduct aid distributions or disaster relief work, if we can spare some space to make special balloons, I believe that we can liven up the atmosphere of the occasion.
After filling the balloon with gas, I think the most difficult part is to tie knots. You may think it's easy to do this with only 1 or 2 balloons, but when you prepare the balloons for a charity sale, you will have to twist more than 100 balloons, which may lead to finger bruises.
Once the balloon is broken, just refill it with gas. The course participants show their passion for balloon art as they never give up improving their balloon twisting skills. Lin says that a person's strength is not enough, as he hopes to pass on the balloon twisting technique to more people to spread happiness and love just like him.
Baizhu Elementary School in Jiangxi Province is a school that has been connected with the Tzu Ch Foundation for 21 years. Tzu Ch volunteers regularly pay visits and show their care, so the students have become more confident.
Baizhu Elementary students sing and dance cheerfully on the playground with volunteers leading a sign language sing-along.
Do you know who built this school? That's correct. Tzu Ch built this school. Which year was this built? Do you guys know?
Tzu Ch volunteers come to the first school Tzu Ch helped to build in Jiangxi Province, Baizhu Elementary School. They brought them love with their whole heart. The education from the past 21 years has made the students become very well-spoken.
Every year, Tzu Ch volunteers come to teach us Jingse aphorisms, make you understand better how we should be thankful and give love.
The students go on stage showing confidence and optimism. Through the teaching over past few years, there are no longer shy children from the countryside. This love between volunteers and the students will pass down for generations.
In Malaysia, to help the residents affected by the floods in Penang, Tzu Ch volunteers in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor have mobilized to canvass for donations in various places. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.